Simon, come on. Got a video to do. Yes, there's a chaplain on there that I would like to obviously get round to potentially ordering. No, that's the screen. That's the keyboard. Are you gonna let me? Sorry. Cat attention first. Welcome to AmiAmi's, another weekly roundup of AmiAmi figure releases. Sorry about that, my cat obviously wanted some attention. We'll get straight on into it. This will be from the 30th of September to the 5th of October 2024, sorry, Jesus Christ. There's a lot of figures to look at since we had Mega Hobby last weekend, so a couple of the figures from that will be in this video. They're up for pre-order, and there will be one Hobby Festival as well 2 days ago, the past 2 days, sorry, Thursday and Friday, or 3rd and 4th of October have been going on. So there'll be probably some figures. I've not looked at any of those yet, so I don't really know what the releases are. So if I see one of those on here that's from one Hobby Festival, then fair enough. If you can comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll get again, like normal, links to the video figures will be in the description down below, and we'll get straight on into it. We've got quite a few tabs to get through here, as you can see. Prisma Wing, ReZero Starting Life in Another World, Rem Glass Edition, 1/7 by Prime One Studio for 27,630 yen. I think they've already released, or a few weeks ago we did another one from Prime One of a ReZero figure in this sort of glass aesthetic. And I think I get the same sort of thing. It seems quite overpriced for what you're getting. Obviously the glass is just manufactured, a mass-produced sort of item. And she's going to be, even though she's just 1/7, she's going to be very tiny in here. The paint job I don't think is up to par for the 27,000 yen price either, so probably give this a miss. Coming out in July 2025. Blue Archive Hibiki Cheerleader version 1/7 by Golden Head for 17,960 yen, June 2025. I like the actual accessories, you know, with the actual pom-poms and this sort of case that she's got going on behind her. Chili outfit looks quite good, and she looks very exhausted. Yeah, quite a nice looking figure, and a good price as well, I think, for 1/7. 18,000 yen's probably what you're looking for on average for most 1/7s these days. At least you'd hope to get, 18,000 yen or sub 20,000. My Hero Academia Lady Nagat 1/8 by manufacturer of Takara Tomy for 22,060 yen, July 2025. I've not got this far into My Hero Academia. I've only watched up to season 3, I think, so I'm way behind. But I think she's from a movie, if I remember correctly, where she obviously can turn her arm into a sniper rifle. So yeah, looks quite good. I think 22,000 yen is probably okay. There's going to be the My Hero Academia tax, unfortunately, where you're paying a bit more for the licensing for that. But I've not heard of this manufacturer, Takara Tomy. Azure Lane Argus 1/7 by Golden Head, 21,780 yen, June 2025. This one, I like the elegant dress. I think it's generally pretty impossible to ruin this sort of thing. I think normally it would be the hair that might off-put a lot of people. This seems to be some sort of semi-translucent at the ends, at least in terms of the hair, but they've done a very good job of painting over the translucent effect to give depth and shading to the figure. If they are semi-translucent, they kind of look like they are frosted at the ends, so it probably is. And the overall outfit, and obviously the chest window, is obviously very appealing as well, as most Azure Lane designs are. So yeah, very elegant. I quite like this a lot, and I think 20,000 yen is not too bad, especially with the Azure Lane tax as well that normally gets implemented. Although Alter have done 1/7 of Azure Lanes for less than this, and obviously that's with Alter's painting quality. Tamano Kadama, Tiffany and Chloe 1/8 by Violet Studio for 26,400 yen. There's 2 figures, so you're looking at 13,000 yen each. They are cast-offable figures. It's another bonus coming out in May 2025. If you like these sort of China dress figures, they're very cutesy, but they are very lolly, unfortunately. So that could be very off-putting depending on your personality. Obviously, if someone else sees, lolly aesthetic figures in your collection, that could give off bad vibes potentially. But potentially worth it just because they're cast offable, but they are going to be a lot on the smaller side for being 1/8. So, but it is 2 figures, so for a decent price. Danjo no Yuga, where's her name? Ona Tomodachi, I guess is her name, by Enso Toys, 14,850 yen, June 2025. 1/6 scale. Yeah, she looks pretty good. Obviously in a very alluring pose. Hair shading looks pretty good. Outstanding on this as well for less than 15,000 yen. Body sculpting looks really good. And looks like you can have her with the shorts. Nope. So yeah, the shorts do. Oh no, you can have the shorts off if you want. But apart from that, and you get a wall scroll based on the main art. So yeah, quite a good looking figure, and especially if you like the swimsuit sort of figures, this is not too bad looking overall. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Lulu 1/7 by Wave, 23,800 yen. I can say the shading looks really good in this one. I like the pose. The rod is a bit of a bummer. Obviously that's photoshopped out, the rod in this one. But yeah, so that's the only thing I think is going to be a bit of a problem. Overall, the figure's not too bad. I don't quite like it, and I think the scaling's obviously fine because that's how she looks in the anime. So that's fine. January 2025, pretty soon. So yeah, I think this is pretty faithful to the other original anime at least. At least she's not cast off. Oh, hang on. Oh, she does have an alternative chest plate. Okay. Let's see, does it come stating here? This product does not balance on its own. Please use the included stand. So, yeah. So it looks like you can change the chest plate out, obviously, for if you want a bit more chest, which I think a lot of people won't display like that because there's a bit more on the wrongful side based on the character. But yeah. That's fine. Quite like that look. I guess there's an extra piece to have in the figure with the figure. Oshinoko Kana Arima date style version on 6th by Good Smile Company for 17,600 yen. Still think I prefer the quintessential quintuplets date series figures rather than the Oshinoko ones, but I quite like the whole sort of standard date style aesthetic more so than doing other elaborate things like put them in a bunny suit or whatnot. Although I do love bunny suit figures, so a bit hypocritical of me, but yeah, no, she looks quite good, very cute looking figure. But I think the quintessential quintuplets were probably a little bit cheaper than this if I remember correctly, and I think they're by Ulta, can't quite remember. But yeah, good looking figure, and 1/6, good size actually. A re-release of Erina Nakiri bunny version quarter scale by Freeing for 29,700 yen, April 2025. So I think if you missed out, you can actually get hold of her now for a decent price, since on the aftermarket she was going for like $700, I think, if I remember correctly, and she's obviously one of the fan favorites from Food Wars. So yeah, definitely nab this if you can. I'm probably going to wait since I've got stuff in April coming out, pre-order, so I might just see if it's a good price. If she gets a slight discount to under the £135 boundary in the UK imports, then I won't have to pay import tax. That's what I'll be looking for. So I've bookmarked her at least. Toho Project Yomu Konopaku half human, half phantom gardener version by Solarian for 24,750 yen, October 25. It's a Toho project. They've always been amazing. They sell out all the time. Very intricate designs, and yeah, the base, they always have outstanding bases. This is not like the best one of the best ones obviously from the Toho project range, but it's a very good one up there. The paint job looks amazing and the effect parts look great, and for 25,000 yen is really good value, I think, for this. If this design speaks to you, then I would say pre-order it. Yeah, definitely. My Hero Academia Himiko Toga duffel coat version 1/7 by Spirit Ale, 26,400 yen, March 2025. Not the best toga figure, really. This one's a bit more on the casual side. Base is a bit basic compared to those ones. The bases on the other toga figures are amazing and add to her craziness and her mental state, obviously. This is not a bad looking figure, and I think the price is probably a little bit higher, but obviously you're not getting a standard base. You're getting a little bit of ruins and stuff on the base, I suppose. So, and she's got an accessory and whatnot with the bag and then weapon. So, and alternative faceplates actually is another bonus. So you got her normal crazy deranged look, and then I think it looks like, yeah, you got her where she's doing the cutesy rendition apparently instead. So that's actually a good bonus, potentially worth getting a hold of if you're still into My Hero Academia. I don't know if it's kind of fallen off a bit recently. Honkai Impact 3rd, Kiana, Evening Invite 1/7 by Apex for 25,600 yen. In terms of this, like being very much like a wedding dress design, this is a lot better than a lot of other wedding dresses, which are just like plain, like cream and white. I love the purple highlights and the purple tips of her hair look amazing. This is a very good looking figure, and I love the little sci-fi bit on the back, which obviously ties her into the game of Honkai Impact 3rd, and the little armor pieces going on. Yeah, this is a very, very nice looking figure. I think I've got to keep an eye out for Honkai Impact 3rd figures in the future. Apex have, I think, knocked this one out the park, and that's September 2025. Azure Lane Kearsarge All Night Charge version on 7th by Apex for 21,340 yen. This one I pre-ordered because it's a bunny suit girl figure with like sci-fi kind of aesthetic, the ears and whatnot, sort of cyberpunk aesthetic going on, and the fact that she's got bits on her back as well, and she comes with different hand options as well, which is good. And I love the little manju that's just on the decks playing the music. So yeah, and she comes with an alternative faceplate as well. So yeah, very good looking figure. Instant pre-order, especially for the price. With the extra hand options and faceplate, it's just, she looks great. Definitely worth getting a hold of, I think, personally, and I have her in game anyways, so I kind of had to buy her. Unfortunately, my poor wallet. Devil's Sister Nimue 1/6 by Hot Venus for 29,700 yen. September 2025. This is a cast-off football figure. I'm not going to show the other images when we get to these cast-off figures. So yeah, the chest area is fully can be removed. I like the position. I love the hair. The hair shading looks really good. Hot Venus are definitely becoming a up-and-coming figure manufacturer for NSFW Figures. Especially with this fantasy aesthetic going on with, like, this Devil's Sister. Yeah, I'm very tempted to pre-order this like right now after I finish the video recording this, to be honest. There's also a slightly more expensive version which comes with a tapestry as well. Yeah, so you get a tapestry and a postcard with this one, and then this one you just get the postcard, I think. Yeah, postcard. So I'll save a little bit and just get the normal version, to be honest. I don't think, unless you're big into tapestries, I don't have space for hanging up tapestries, to be honest. Although I could buy the tapestries and just keep them, and then at least then they'll help with resale in the future potentially. Ninja Gaiden Ryu Hayabusa 1/7 by Kyodo for 22,000 yen. Iconic game character, obviously. I've not played any of the Ninja Gaiden games, but they are stupidly hard from what I've heard of. This is August 2025 release, and he looks really good. I love the detail on the base with the moss rocks. Looks really nicely done. The muscle definition looks really good, and the armor definition as well. The resolution on the armor looks really nicely done and detailed. So I think they're not lacking in detail. So I think the 22,000 yen is definitely justified, even though it's a game character that not loads of people would know. I understand, but if you're, if you've heard of Dark Souls or anything like that, then you probably would know about Ninja Gaiden. So yeah, definitely worth getting hold of if you're a big gamer, I think. And 20,000 yen is, I think, an astonishing price for this. Azure Lane Shinano Dreamy White Sands version 1/6 by AmiAmi in collaboration with AnyGame for 23,470 yen. January 2026, so you've got plenty of time to save up for this one. I do like this one a lot. Shinano's get another one of those. I think I've probably got about 10 waifus from Azure Lane that I would try and get a figure of each in my collection at some point. This one potentially worth getting hold of. Probably one of the better Shinano figures with this skin that she has on from the game, with the obviously the falling apart bikini. I think there's going to be some people that will try to force cast off this potentially. It does look like there is protrusions behind the fabric, so you might be able to. Obviously, it doesn't mention it being cast off here, but there will probably be some crazy people who would try it. And 1/6 is a really good scale as well, and the detailing looks really good for this. Azure Lane in collaboration with Shinobi Master Sonon Kagura, New Link Yumi, 1/7 by Freeing. So this is a Freeing 1/7 scale, which you very rarely see the 1/7s and 1/8s from Freeing. It's almost always court scales, and now they're new 1/6 that they're doing, but they're predominantly court scales. For 26,400 yen, July 2025. This one is not cast offable, at least it's not mentioned as cast offable. Potentially another figure that some people might try to force cast off, potentially, or those might be magnetized on the tassels. I like the design and whatnot, but I think the price, it's very simple in terms of the depth of the shading and whatnot, but I think that's just down to the colors in the actual design limits what they can do, unfortunately, in terms of shading, with it being very pastel, white blues and white purples going on. Very like the design. Not sure whether it's actually worth 26,000 yen really. Kulomu from Bear Panda for 8,000 yen. So you've got sort of a rabbit bikini aesthetic, bunny suit aesthetic going on here with this wacky hair. But 8,000 yen for this is like outstanding. 1/6. And they also have Lulumi as well for 8,000 yen, August 2025, and it looks like she's also got actual realistic tights here. So again, really good price. But there is a even better bargain where if you can get them together for 11,730 yen. So that's a 50% reduction on one of them to get chucked in for free with it, and you get some extras with this as well. You get a heart base and tin badge, so you get a base obviously that pairs them together, and you get the standard 2 bases if you want to have them separate as well, and alternative face parts with following eyes. So the Bear Panda do that thing where you can change the face plates and you can have where the eyes follow you. Some people like it, some people don't. But they give that as an option, again, for such an astonishing price. If you look at some of these photos when they're paired together, they look very cute and adorable. I love this sort of pairing figure, and the hair crosses over to the point where it forms a heart. I'm very tempted to get, for £60 UK, it's just like a no-brainer. And I love obviously bunny suit figures, and these are like, yes, they are very lolly, so that might be the only problem, but I think I might just take the plunge on them, to be honest, and bite the bullet and get them in to at least review on the channel, and then I can potentially resell them in the UK later on afterwards. Luo Hong 1/6 by Bear Panda for 8,300 yen. July 2025. So Bear Panda are going into this sort of, over the past sort of year, we've seen a few figures where they're these Chinese girls in Chinese dresses, with this sort of motif or circle behind them, and they're on some sort of stool or a tree or something, or at a bar, and they've been like 20,000 yen plus, and this is 8,300 yen for 1/6 as well. I think a lot of those have been 1/7, and the quality of paint looks close, probably not as good as those ones, but those have been 3 times the price of this. So, like, if you love this aesthetic, China dresses with the backdrop, and like the tree branches going on, the stool and whatnot, and the accessories, instant buy, I think, for you. Kana Table, Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, Nagisa Kubo, by Shibuya Scramble figure, 5,940 yen. I thought I'd include this because it's the first time I've seen a Shibuya Scramble figure for 6,000 yen. But when you look at the photos, she's a very simple figure, very basic, some shading on the hair, and that's basically it. And she is a non-scale, so she stands at 20 centimeters tall, probably 1/7, 1/8 scale. But yeah, 6,000 yen is a good price for the figure. So if you've seen this anime, I think it's from an anime, then, and this is a character you want, then you can get a figure non-scale, unfortunately, for 6,000 yen. From Shibuya Scramble as well. So I don't know if they're trying to do like these prize figure, enter the sort of lower tier prize figure market like Bear Panda and El Coco have been doing. Now to get to the opposite end of the spectrum, extremely expensive. Through they've got these Japanese dolls. So we've got Homura Akami, quarter scale of a Japanese doll version for 198,000 yen, December 2025. So you've got end of next year to get to save up and pay for this. Very cute, and obviously it's because the kimonos are handmade for each of them, so that I understand why they are very expensive to do these sorts of kimonos to this scale. Custom for a very limited run of figures. Definitely jacks up the price on these. So there's also from the same anime, Madoka Kaname as well, for 109. I think this one will probably be a bit more popular because obviously a lot of people like Madoka. So I think, yeah, this one will be probably a lot more looked for, although there's not going to be that many people in the world really that are going to be that are in the hobby and that has the money to spend over £1,000 on these, and they're single shipments, so you can't even combine it with any other, like if you're a madman that buys quarter scales like I do all the time. So very good though. I like them. It's just obviously it's something Furu like to do with these, and I'm guessing the previous ones have sold well enough for them to justify carrying on with the same line of Japanese dolls. So there are people that are buying them, probably in Japan most likely. Food Wars, we've got Rindo Kobayashi Bikini Bunny version, quarter scale by Fring for 39,600 yen, July 2025. So there is the other one that was released earlier this year, bikini version from Food Wars. I can't remember her name. She's the American girl, if I remember correctly, in the bikini, and she's been discounted. So I'm very tempted to get hold of that. But yeah, this looks good, but I don't think I'd pay 40,000 yen for this, to be honest. But what I think a lot of people are liking the fact of is they are going to be doing Erina. So you've got the re-release of Erina in her normal bunny suit, and you can get, if you don't want that, you can at least then get the bikini versions of them. So you've got all the bunny suit versions, and they might get around to re-releasing her and the other one, the rest of the girls from Food Wars in the bunny suit B style, as they release these in parallel potentially, or over the course of next year and the year after when they get around to releasing them. So looks promising for people who are Food Wars fans, which I have not watched the anime, but I really should. I'm very tempted to get hold of these, the bikini versions, rather than the normal bunny suit, just to give a bit more difference in my quarter scale collection at least, from Freeing. But I think considering the other previous Food Wars one did go on sale, I probably will hold fire, to be honest, and wait for her to get discounted a few months shortly after release in July. Blue Archive Mari Sportswear Memorial Lobby version on 7th by Plum for 21,500 yen, January 2025. Pretty simple design figure. I like the chair and the football being included. Pretty nice looking figure. Don't play Blue Archive, but she looks pretty cute overall, and I think the price isn't too bad. Kitty Cole's Spice and Wolf Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf Follow Yukata version by Kadaka, 1/7 scale for 18,810 yen, March 2025. So this is one of those ones where she's lying down on some sort of bed sheet thing, which I think you can potentially prop up if you want to. I don't like these sort of lying down ones where they're sitting, because you do sort of have to display them like a picture frame really to actually get the most enjoyment out of them, rather than them having lying down, unless you have a positioned right on your desk in front of you, so you can actually you're over seeing over down onto her, or you have her on a lower shelf. But then how many people look at the lower shelves really? So yeah, it's a very good looking figure. I think overall, and the price I think is fine. I just don't like the concept of this one, unfortunately. Nenenji original illustration, pink hair Chan Kurogal version by Daiki Kyoge for 24,030 yen, May 2025. This is a cast-offable figure, very glossy in terms of aesthetic, alternative tassels for nether region. It looks like you get. So yeah, it's one of those very overly thick NSFW figures. I don't like this overall glossy aesthetic, but I think Daiki have done these similar figures before in the past. If I remember from their other range that they've set up pre-order before. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something up my alley. I would rather spend my money on something else, but I can definitely see why there will be people out there that would want this figure. Orizaki Zakizuki illustration, VO 1/6 by Union Creative for 27,500 yen, June 2025. Very nice looking figure. Loving the gold and cream chair. Looks amazing. 240 centimeters and 24 centimeters in height when she's sitting down like this. So yeah, 1/6 definitely. I love the curves on the dress, and that look really nice. And looks like you could position her on like a shelf end or anything like that as well if you didn't want to have her on the chair. But I'd like, yeah, the hair shading looks good. Very good looking figure. Nothing bad to say. I love the overall concept and design of this. So very good looking figure, definitely. And I think, does it come with? Oh, it doesn't come with any bonus, unfortunately, like the original art. We got George 052 from Halo Reach. I included this because I'm a massive Halo fan, and George is like my favorite character from Halo Reach, easily. And I've played Halo Reach so many times, and I love George, big boy George. So yeah, we've got like a basic an action figure from 1000 Toys, coming out in June 2025. I would potentially pre-order this. We're going to be bookmarking this to see if he's still available. But these sorts of action toy ones do generally sell out. It takes a few months, but they do sell out, and then that's generally it. So I could definitely see in the aftermarket his price could probably skyrocket with it being, such a unique item from Halo, and with it being Halo, and you don't get obviously a lot of the Noble 5 team being or Noble team being represented. At least I've not seen a lot of them. Not from AmiAmi. I've not looked at Western companies that obviously probably do merchandise for Halo. Yeah. So, but this is look really good, and for the price, I think for the detailing and paintwork that's going on here is really nice. So, if you're a big Halo fan, put it into the comments. Definitely like this a lot. Fairy Tale Urza Scarlet High Kick version, Black Bunny version 1/6 by Orca Toys for 33,390 yen. I was hoping this potentially would be cast off, but it's not mentioned to be cast off. And there is 3 versions of her, but look at the black standard Black Bunny suit version, and this one comes with a sword. There is some differences between them. So that's her with like the fiery kick going on. If we get her white dress version, she does have a sword here as well, and it's a black sword compared to her red sword in the white suit, with a yellow effect part for the kick. And then when we go to this one, and a red suit, I think, there's a sword as well. I thought I saw something with a disc where she had like a tray or something going on, with a white sword. Yep, so all 3 you just get your preferred color. I'm not sure if I'd get these, to be honest, but I think Urza also gets quite a few figures, and I do like the sculpting on these are really nice. But I don't think I'd pay 34,000 yen for it, to be honest. It's a very nice looking figure, but I wouldn't. Crimson Bunny, I think, is my favourite one, to be honest, out of the 3 versions. El Coco done some more cheap figures. of a ReZero Starting Life in Another World RAM Dual Princess version, 1/7. So this is actually a good, very good scale for the price, 4,300 yen. March 2025. A very cute looking figure. She looks adorable, and she will stand at just over 20 centimeters in height. Actually, pretty decent height for the price, especially, and being 1/7. And then we've also got Rem as well. Again, very nice. Loving the blues, loving the paint and the gem effect on the base. And we've also got Emilia as well, with the purple and white outfit and the purple crystal behind her. To be honest, I probably would pick up all three. That's just 13,000 yen that'd be. And you get all three. If you don't have any ReZero figures in your collection and you don't want to spend loads, then El Coco have got you covered, at least with these three. Prisma Ring, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, Echidna Glass Edition. So I'll just check my cat. Prime One Studio, 26,630 yen, October 2025. So this is, again, another very similar to the Bearman that we looked at earlier in the glass thing from Prime One Studio. Looks fine, but I don't think 26,000 yen. I'd rather get the El Coco figures, to be honest, and save myself a bunch of money. Gun Gale Online Len Desert Bullet version by Plum for 14,960 yen, January 2025. Good price. 1/7 is good scale, although she's a short character, she should be quite short anyways. Paint job looks fine, really good. I like the P90, the pink looks really good. I think pretty good looking sculpting and whatnot. I think Plum have done a decent job with this one. Pretty good looking, nice looking figure. And we don't get a lot of Gun Girl figures anyways these days. Sleep Devil no Nos 1/6 by Eosun. I never heard of them, for 9,060 yen, May 2025. Very cute looking figure. Sleeping character designs can be hit or miss, but I like this one a lot. Very cute and whatnot, and the fluffy base definitely adds to it. And bonus, she has alternative face space where she's pouting because she's been woken up. So I think that's a good bonus. Definitely, I think worth getting a hold of if you like this a lot. And it's only 9,000 yen, although the Eosun's another, I think, Chinese manufacturer I've not heard anything about. So and this is the regular version. I don't think I didn't open the deluxe version, which I probably should open the deluxe version. Let's see what the deluxe version has. Oh, you can have her in a shopping cart for 11,000 yen. So you drop the fluffy base and have her in a shopping cart. I guess it's a bit more adorable of her in the shopping cart. Yeah, she looks quite nice, and I think it's the exact same figure. Depends on personal taste, whether you want her in a shopping cart or her on a fluffy base. Azure Lane, a gear ceremony version, 1/7 by Myethos, 29,100 yen, March 2025. Very nice looking fish, very elegant. I love the design, the pose. So like the necklace around the chest is really, and obviously she's definitely showing off her assets. And the chair looks really nice. That chair is probably like 8,000 yen by itself in terms of the plastic and the painting cost. So yeah, very good looking figure, and it's by Myethos, who are a very, very good quality manufacturer. So they've been very good figure manufacturer from past. I've got Taiho quarter scale to unbox, so I'll get around to doing that at some point. But yeah, she looks really nice. Love the sort of hair twirl, it's coming off her horn. It's a nice, just a bonus aesthetic, I think, just attention to detail. The hair looks really nice as well. Definitely a good looking figure. Potentially worth getting if you're a big Agira fan. Then we go to Azure Lane Ulrich von Hutzen Mad Chen Trummer version 1/6 by AmiAmi for 23,470 yen, January 2026. So you got well over a year to get a hold of this. If you like maids, I would probably get this one. She's very pale skin, but I think that's just down to the character design. Love the position that she's in. Love the Manju that's obviously just trying to cling on for dear life. I like this sort of gothic maid aesthetic. I could definitely see a lot of people will potentially even buy her and just treat her as like an OC, even though she's an Azure Lane figure. And looks like you can remove her skirt. That's interesting. Oh. So not like cast off. You could say semi cast off. That's a good bonus, I think. And I think she comes with the artwork. Character Shikishi as well, you get as well. But potentially worth getting a hold of. I might buy this one and just treat it as an OC. I don't know, I'm probably going to bookmark this one. Orihime Inoue, 1000 Year Blood War arc from Bleach. By Mega House for 26,180 yen. February 2025. It's only like 5 months. Yes, Mega House looks pretty good. Very simple in the whites, but they've done a good effort with shading, using blues for the folds and the shadows. Yeah, I quite like it, and the hair shading looks really nice with a lot of movement in the hair. So I think it's definitely one of the better Orihime figures. Although I've not really looked at a lot of them. So potentially worth getting hold of. 26,000 yen might be a bit on the pricier side, but your Mega House, you do generally pay a bit more. And I think we covered her in the Mega Hobby Expo video that I posted yesterday. And then we got Gem Series Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Lacus Klein 20th anniversary by Mega House for 27,500 yen, May 2025. Overall figure is quite nice, and you get 2 different of these things that are in her palm, different colours, pink and like a blue one. But the problem with this is the fact she's only supported by 1 foot. Where's a picture that had a good thing of the actual joist? They did not. Oh, they really don't want to show. So down here, as you can see, I think there's potentially going to be a problem with leaning, unless if they have like 2 metal rods that come up. For both feet. I can't see a clear enough photo, unfortunately, that show. Oh, here, this one is better. So it looks like the plastic does. It looks like her other foot is anchored in as well with his own rod, but it looks like here the rod only goes into the bottom of the plastic itself. So that's going to be my main concern, is leaning with this figure overall. But I think the price is probably about right with how much plastic is being used for the hair, and obviously the size of the skirt that's billowing out, so that's fine. And it's 20th anniversary, so yeah, and a good looking figure. It's just that I'm worried about leaning, and all that being a very weak point where people, when they install her on the base, of that, snapping. And then we've got Mobile Suit Gundam War in the Pocket Christina by Mega House for 23,100 yen, March 2025. This one bit better price. Looks like they're using semi-translucent hair, and they've done like a metallic sheen on her hair to give the sort of red highlighting. It looks pretty metallic to me, at least in these photos. So that's different, at least using some sort of metallic effect going on there, or they've got some glitter or something in there to add that sheen on these highlighted areas. The hair shading and the sculpting looks really good, and the sculpt work on the jacket that's tied around her waist looks really nice as well. Yeah, good looking character. I think overall not bad design, and I think the painting looks pretty good, especially for 23,000 yen. Is actually a pretty good bargain, I think, overall. And then we've got from Mega House again, Lucria Blue Archive, Asuna Ichinosai, basically in a standard outfit for 35,200 yen though. May 2025. Very expensive. What scale is she? Non-scale. So they 25 centimeters in height. I still think I prefer my Max Factory bunny suit version of her, which I have done a video on, or at least the unboxing of, and I will be doing a comparison video of her. I've got her in the same bunny suit, game playing version by Good Smile, video that will be coming out in the next week or so, comparing those two, because it's the same design, so that'll be really good. But I think if you're a massive Asuna fan from Blue Archive, which I kind of am, because I'm collecting the other girls as well, even though I don't play Blue Archive, I do love this outfit. The sculpting looks really good, paint job looks really good, her assets are on display, the hair's amazing. I think almost all the Asuna figures have had amazing hair sculpts and paint work on them. So I don't know whether it's 35,000 yen, considering her bunny suit for Max Factory was less than 30,000 yen, I think. And that was like top tier Asenatage, you know, say like as one of my best bunny suit figures in my personal opinion. That's not a quarter scale. And then we got Gintama Kintoki Sakata version for the 20th anniversary of Benezaku Kurua. 24,200 yen by Mega House, May 2025. And it looks like you get alternative hand options, so you can have him with his sword out like that over his shoulder, or his hand to his waist, depending on which pose you like, which is good, I think. Give you a bit more options. 24,000 yen, yeah. I've not watched Gintama, the anime. I really should. It's a classic in terms of the anime series that a lot of people really should watch, but there's obviously a lot of episodes of it, so it's gonna be a time investment, unfortunately, to get around to watching Gintama. Very nice looking figure. And I think we've got this one. We've got Alter, Bremerton Hugging Pillow version, 1/7 by Alter for 27,280 yen, July 2025. If you didn't want to get the Alpha Max quarter scale of her, then you can get this, which will have cheaper. Not tons cheaper, I think, really. I suppose about 10,000-ish yen cheaper, but you can have the Alter quality in terms of sculpt and paintwork. Although I think it is almost a carbon copy of the Alpha Max version at quarter scale. It's just obviously shrunk down to 1/7. So if you love Bremerton and this Hugging Pillow version, then you can want to get like a top-notch quality figure, get the Alter one, I think, over the Alpha Max one. But I think I don't quite like, obviously I quite like quarter scales overall, but this one's really nice anyways. Very good looking Bremerton figure. And now we're into the adult section, so I'll probably have to put a timestamp a chapter in the description saying when this is, just so you know you can get to it. Links for these will not be included in the description, but the rest of them will be in the description down below. These are the page entry, obviously, on AmiAmi for the adult section. So we've got a adult version of that figure we talked about earlier, of Onona Tomodachi 1/7 by Pink Rouge. So it's a different manufacturer, but it's the same artwork basically. I think it's the same company technically. It's just two different companies. One's the not safe for work version. One's obviously your standard version. So this is the deluxe kit for 32,240 yen, which you get both versions for. So that 14,000 yen figure and the not safe for work version, where her top is obviously exposing her opie. And this one also comes with, so you get two bases, two figures, and the acrylic stand and the wall scroll as well. So you get some extra bonuses for that price. So I think potentially worth a good investment. If you don't and you just want the not safe work version, you can just get the non-safe work version for 18,000 yen, June 2025. Again, same sculpt work, I think, and removable shorts, but it's not fully cast off walls, just the chest that's exposed, and you cannot remove that top. So that saved them a bit on the cost, which is why I think the price is down lower, since you haven't got just the alternative parts or removable clothing on this figure. Pretty nice looking figure though. Jasmine dress up time nurse quarter scale pre-painted alternative body part for 4,800 yen. So this is like an add-on to the quarter scale of her, which I have brought up here from the Abalu design manufacturer. Her, unfortunately, they're closed, but I have bookmarked the normal quarter scale for 16,000 yen. I think a lot of people were hoping they would be cast off, but they weren't. That's because they're selling this alternative body swap part separately. So I have pre-ordered this actually because I'm expecting this to sell out very quickly, and then I'm expecting them to do a changing time sister version as well, unless if you can use the same one for both, but I don't think you can, since the arm positions will be slightly different between the two figures. But if you did want basically this in cast off, you're spending 21,000 yen for a quarter scale as an alternative body swap part for if you want fully cast off top and bottom as well, which is actually not a bad price. And I think the overall designs in these are quite, even though they're on the thicker side, a lot of people like the designs for these, I think, and I like them a lot as well. I was very tempted to pre-order them, but because they weren't cast off, I held fire, and unfortunately I missed this one, so I'm gonna have to wait till she gets released. Moving on to Yohiden no Kedaki Saido High Elf Queen, Eren Special Edition 1/6 by Limland for 20,560 yen, May 2025. Obviously, I think a lot of people definitely. I like this overall aesthetic. The fact that you're getting this chain scenic base part with the figure as well, and she's an elf, gorgeous, very well designed. Love the clothing, sculpting looks really good. Like for the prices, this is like a no-brainer. This is the special version where you get there's an R18 alternative part, which won't show obviously in this, but she is cast offable for the price. And I think Limland are another upcoming not safe for work manufacturer to keep an eye out for. Obviously, then you got your normal native Rocket Boy, Skytube, where you're like normal big three. And then these other alternative manufacturers are definitely coming, like Hot Venus and Limland are producing some good work, I think, for a very good price. And this is the regular version, 17,000 yen. Looks like the same, but there is a difference apparently. Oh, so this one is not cast offable. Oh, okay, so if you want the non-cast offable, but still, you know, it's dirty enough to the point where she can't be sold in the normal section, 18,000. I think people will just buy and spend the extra money and get the special edition version where you can have a cast off. That's what I would do personally. 1/6 good scale as well. And then Nocturne's another manufacturer. So we've got Eleanor Chaplin 1/6 for 27,500 yen. So definitely much more expensive. July 2025. But I do like this a lot, and she is cast offable. Alternative, it'll be a chest swap basically, and there's the bottom clothing I think gets removed. So yeah, I like the design on this one, and the paint job looks really nice on this. But I would spend the extra 35,000. So it is a bit extra, you know, 8,000 yen more, but you get this diorama backdrop. So I'd get the DX version, to be honest, for this. I'm very tempted to buy this one anyways and get it in. July's I think is pretty open for me for my pre-orders, so this one might be one I might potentially pre-order along with the chained elf as well, May 2025. I'll have to just check out my pre-orders next year, but I think that does it for this week of AmiAmi figure pre-orders. A bit of a longer side. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall catch you in another video. Again, links for all these will be in the description down below. Thank you very much. The next video will be the One Hobby Festival 2024 Shanghai. So we'll probably be looking at recording that shortly. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you in another one. Thanks. Bye. Okay. The microphone, I need that. Simon. No eating the microphone stand. Come on. Gonna go back onto bed? Gonna lie down? Come on. Boy. Go on, lie down. So I can do this video. Come on. Yeah? Can I record now? You gonna be right there? Good boy.